Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. It's me, Manny from Manny's Men at Home, and my channel is to share with you some simple or sometimes over the top but totally delicious recipes to share with your friends and family. If that sounds like your thing, make sure that you're subscribed. Last year, to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, I made some delicious Mexican inspired recipes. But this year I wanted to do something special. So I reached out to one of my good YouTuber friends, Maiko, and he suggested that I try his Pan de Elote recipe. It is a delicious Mexican cornbread, and we're gonna cook it in a very traditional, or as close to traditional as we can get. If you're interested in Maiko's content, make sure that you check him out. I will leave his channel linked in the description, but also on the card above. Maiko has made two versions of this recipe, one using pancake mix and the other one making everything from scratch. Of course, me being me, I'm gonna choose to do the more complicated one. With that, let's look at the ingredients that we're going to need. Alrighty, Maiko's made two versions of this recipe, and for both of those he uses a blender, so I'm gonna do the same. And this is very, very simple. We're just gonna go in with all of our ingredients. I've got some butter. That was very Maiko-esque. His stuff always gets stuck to the bowls. Then I'm gonna go in with some sugar. I've got baking powder, flour, and we're gonna crack in 4 eggs. And finally, I'm gonna go in with some vanilla extract. And I'm gonna give this all a blend. Typically, I tell you guys not to overmix flour when it comes to making cakes or breads. There's so little flour in here that I don't think it's gonna be a problem, so we'll see how we get on. Alright, it's all nice and blended now, so we're gonna go in with the sweet corn. The reason why we add the sweet corn now and not with the rest of the ingredients is because we want to keep them kind of intact. We want them to build into the texture of the cake. Okay, and then blend it once again. And that's it, that's our batter. How easy was that? Traditionally, Pan de Elote is made using a little cast iron pan. I didn't have one, so I went out to get this one. It's nice and small, and one good thing that I learned from Maiko's videos is that you want to make sure you're using a pan that you haven't cooked savory stuff in before, because then if you're using garlic or spices, that flavor will remain in your seasoned cast iron pan and then will end up in your cake. You don't want that. I'm gonna heat this up on a medium heat for about 3 minutes before I go in with my oil and butter. And I've got the lid heating in the oven. You want heat from both the bottom and the top to cook your Pan de Elote properly. Maiko says the traditional way to do it would be to actually put it into the coal and put the embers on top of the pot, so that's how you get the heat from all sides. Gonna go in with some oil now. I'm trying to spread the oil to the sides of the pan so that the cake doesn't stick. And just be careful, you don't want this to be too hot, because then your cake will burn. Since we don't have access to the traditional method of cooking it, I think kind of low and slow will do us better here. And I'm also gonna go in with some butter now. And again, just spread it along the sides and the bottom of your pan. Okay, and the moment of truth, let's go in with our cake batter. Just gonna spread this a little bit and then gonna go in with our lid. Cover it up and I'm gonna let it cook for about 7 minutes. Okay, it's already been about 10 minutes and my batter isn't doing anything. So I've cranked up the heat a little bit. I'm gonna let it go a little bit longer, but I'm gonna keep a close eye on it because I don't want it to burn. But it smells so delicious. There's such a sweetness coming out of it. I know it's gonna be good. All right, it's been 14 minutes now. Let's have a look and see how we're getting on. Ooh, I can definitely see that it's starting to take shape. It's no longer a batter. But I'm not confident to flip this right now. If I try to flip it, it's gonna splat everywhere. So we have two choices. We can let it go a little bit longer. It doesn't smell like it's burning, or we can transfer it to the oven. I think we're very close to getting to where we need to be, so I will leave it a little bit longer here and then see how we get on. So stay tuned. Okay, it's been 20 minutes, let's have a look. Okay, we're definitely going in the right direction, but it just needs a little bit longer. I am very cautious to put the heat up at this point because I don't want it to burn at the bottom. So I'm gonna leave it for another couple of minutes and then we'll try again. Okay, it's the moment of truth, let's have a look. It is looking much better. I can see that the middle now is more of a spongy texture, it's not just liquid. And the sides also are getting nice and solid or hard. It is still a little bit softer than I would like to try to flip it, but I can already smell that it's caramelized and icing at the bottom. So I'm just a bit afraid that if I let it go much longer, it's just going to burn. I definitely don't want that. We're just gonna have to give it a go. Cross all our fingers and our toes. 1, 2, 3. So this is exactly what happened to Michael, and he told me that you can just scrape the bit that's stuck and place it on top. It's not too bad. Okay, in order to flip this back into the pot, I'm just afraid that if I just try to slide it off, it's gonna break on me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it once again here, and the side that's a little bit browner is gonna be at the bottom, so nobody's gonna know. You're grand. I'm gonna put some of the butter, which is now very soft, on top of the cake. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the pot over it and flip it back around. Pray to all the baking gods. 1, 2, 3. Okay, put the lid back on, and I'm only gonna cook it for another probably 5 minutes max. Okay, let's do it. It's gonna go flying. I think that looks so pretty. We have success. Let's clean up and we'll put a couple bits extra on it. Okay, that was moderately successful. I think it looks really pretty. I'm gonna put some Dulce de Leche on top because that's one of the traditional ways to have it. You could also have it with this thing called majeta, which is basically kind of like a Mexican Dulce de Leche, but it's made from goat's milk. I couldn't find that, so we're just gonna go with this. Let's get a slice out and give it a try. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of extra Dulce de Leche, and I'm also gonna serve it with some vanilla ice cream. Looks so good, let me give it a try. Got some ice cream. I love the texture. It's a beautiful bake on it. The Dulce de Leche is perfect for it. And the vanilla is what just kind of lifts the flavor a little bit more. It's absolutely beautiful. The sweet corn provides a lot of sweetness and a beautiful flavor. Even though I had some struggles with it, the end result is fantastic. Oh my God, you need to give this a try. I'm certainly gonna try this recipe again, but I think then I'll stop being stubborn and actually try to bake it. You're probably gonna get a much more consistent result. But I like to make things difficult for myself. I still enjoy the process and the end result is delish. I hope that you enjoyed this recipe. I had some issues, but I definitely enjoyed the challenge. Make sure that you check out Maikoh'S channel. He does fantastic recipes. His videos are beautiful. It's been so fun working with Maikoh and getting to know each other this past couple of months. It's always great to have somebody there that's doing the same thing as you, and we can bounce ideas of each other and give each other feedback. It really makes it so much easier. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give me a like and leave me a comment below what you thought of it and what would you have done differently. Make sure you share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. If you try the recipe and want to post it on Instagram, make sure that you tag me. I love to see the stuff that you guys do. With that, I'll leave you for this video and enjoy.